Hey, what's up YouTube? Here's another video by Wrenches and Wrenches, and today I'm going to show you how to remove and replace your timing belt and water pump and tensioners on a 2005 Honda Civic with the 1.7 liter non-VTEC single overhead cam engine. Okay, as you can already see, I got the hood supported, so you know the hood, this hood support that comes on the car is on this side, and that's where the timing belt is. So instead of having that right here in the way, I got that out of the way. And you know, on this engine, in order to get to the timing belt, in order to remove this upper timing belt cover, you're gonna have to remove the valve cover. And the valve cover removal of that is a little bit more involved than most four-cylinder engines, so that's what we're gonna do first. Okay, so since we're gonna be disconnecting the cables for the alternator and removing a bunch of ignition coils and whatnot, we need to disconnect the negative side of the battery and safely tuck it aside. Okay, next we're going to remove this this cover. There we go. Let's remove our oil dipstick. Okay, so in order to remove this valve cover, we first need to remove this wiring harness that's running from the alternator here up on top of the valve cover, and it's got all the wires for the ignition coils. We need to remove all this stuff and then grab it and pull it aside. Also, we need to remove these cables for the cruise control, and then there's about, I think, 5 or 6 bolts that hold on the valve cover to the cylinder head. But what we're gonna do next is actually remove this bracket that's holding in these wires for the valve cup for the cruise control. Alright, these are all 10mm. Alright, I'm gonna just tuck this in back here. Next we're just gonna grab this clamp and pull this back. And instead of wrestling with this now, we're just gonna wait till the last this is the PCV hose, by the way, till we remove the valve cover. Then once the valve cover is out, we'll just wiggle it out. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, next we need to remove the wires that are going to our alternator. First we're going to remove that green connector. These are actually then this is a 10mm, and these are covered by these rubber covers, so you got to peel those back first. There's the connector. This is the 10mm nut that was holding this in, and they should come out now. Come on, there we go. Okay, well, this plastic piece is actually held in here too, so I'm gonna figure this out, how to get this out of here. There we go. Yeah, just press on that tab, press that down, and then slide it this way. Okay, so in order to get this this wire harness through here, we're gonna have to remove this this bracket that's holding this AC line in, and also there's a little plastic clip here that holds this AC line in. We're gonna disconnect next, and then pull on this, and then get this through. Okay, and this is also 10mm. And in order to get this out of this plastic bracket, just pull on this, just pull out. There we go. Yeah, you can play with these a little bit, but don't force it, okay? So yeah, so we just get this here, pop this out. Next there is 2 10mm bolts, one here and one on this side, that we need to take out. Also these 10mm nuts that are holding our ignition coils in, and we're going to remove this as one unit. Okay, actually it seems to me we need to unclip this. It's at the top here too. Okay, and the way we're gonna disconnect this is we need to get something like this in here. Just press it out and then pull. And as you can see, when you press it out, this clip unlatches from there, and then our harness is free. Okay, before we can grab that and pull this aside, we need to disconnect these little two connectors here as well. They should come out without much trouble. There's another one here. You guys. There we go. Easy enough. Okay. Everything should come out as one piece. There we go. Pretty good. I'm just gonna set this aside. Almost there. Okay, next up, 5 valve cover bolts that are also 10mm. Okay, you know what? We actually do have to remove this PCV hose because it's not going to let us remove our valve cover. There we go. Okay, now we get this. Now we get to this wiring harness off, and now we should be able to remove our valve cover. There we go. Okay, looks like I forgot to take out some stuff. This bracket here, it's held into the valve cover. But yeah, 10mm bolt, that's for this AC line and power steering pump needs to come out. So we're just going to take that bolt out and remove this bracket. Also this one, this little small bracket, that was for the wiring harness. That also needs to be taken off. It's also held in by 10mm. There's this. And there's this guy. It's also held in by some RTV silicone on the corners. So there we go. Alright. Okay, next we're going to remove our power steering belt, and then remove our power steering pump and the reservoir, and then pull them out and set them aside here. The reservoir, just wiggle it and pop out its bracket. Then we need to loosen and remove that nut, and then loosen that nut, loosen this, remove our power steering belt, then completely remove that and this bolt, and then we can remove our power steering pump and a reservoir and set them aside on the top of the engine. Okay, first we're going to remove this nut, which is a 12mm. You're gonna have to find the right wrench or socket or extension for this, because this is a really tight fit. Alright, here's the nut. Okay, and here's the nut on this side, and we need to remove. Okay, next we just need to turn this counterclockwise until this is loose enough so that we can remove the belt. There we go. There we got the belt. If you're going to be reusing these belts, make sure you mark the direction of the rotation. And this engine turns counterclockwise, so you want to keep that in mind. Okay, so now we want to remove our pump. We're going to just pull on the lower bolt like this. Comes out easy. And then we want to remove this 10mm nut right here. I'm sorry, 10mm bolt that's holding the power steering pump to the bracket. And once we remove that, this pump should come out. Now we're gonna take it with the reservoir. It just pops out. You can either remove this or make sure it doesn't come off of there if you don't want to deal with putting it back on, but it's easy enough. Okay, and a quick note on is how to inspect your belt. Well, we turn it inside out. This is our power steering belt, and then you just go like this and you go around, and if you see all these cracks that are on this, even though the belt wasn't making any noise, it's a very good time to use to replace these. This can probably go for another, I don't know, a couple thousand miles, maybe even more. But yeah, while we're in there, these are so cheap. It's a good preventative measure to replace this. Okay.